Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can build a voice assistant for hospitals. We are going to build this voice assistant on Voiceflow. If you are not familiar with Voiceflow, Voiceflow is a chatbot builder and a voice agent builder where you can build like solutions like these for yourself or maybe for other clients. I will also share my link in the description. If you use my link, you will get also 1,000 bonus credits extra on your Voiceflow account. And basically you can build like very advanced FAQs, product recommendations, internal co-pilots, and much more. Basically you can build like your agent steps. You can build it exactly how you want it. And you know, like every company or organization works in a different way. So having a standard template or like a fixed way for your own solutions doesn't work. You want to design it however you want. So you can do that on Voiceflow. You can also host it. You can like customize your own chatbot or how the voice agent is going to talk. And you will also see some analytics like about the interactions, latency, etc. This will be the flow. And let me walk through quickly with you how it all works and how you can build this for yourself. So you will see a green button, which is the start. And you can connect this start with a message block, which I have done here. So a message block is, you can find it in the talk steps and then message. And over here, you can just type in whatever you want the agent is going to say. So in my case, I just had like this description where you will hear on the phone, the agent is saying this basically. And then we have a listen step. In this case, it's a capture step. You can also have buttons or a choice. A choice is like a listen and a button. And let me show it to you. It can listen via intents, so you will have like separate paths, and you can or have a intent or a button. And if you give it an intent and someone says nay or no, it will understand it, and people don't need to click on a button. They can just type out no, and then it knows I will have to follow this path. In this case, we have selected the capture step, and we will save whatever they have said in a last utterance. So this is like the default variable. If you want to save like a response from your user in a specific variable and reuse this later, you can also create a custom variable and name it. Like for example, create a variable. I can say like test variable. And then for example, if in this case the variable is test variable, I can later on reuse this variable. The last utterance will each time once the user has said something, it will change to that. So let's go back to the last utterance. So basically it will start with the message block, and then we will just listen to whatever they have said. And then we have here the agent step. So the agent step is the first one on the menu on the left side. You can just drag it down below and you can create your own agent step or search one in the community. In my case, I've already created it, and this is like the core function of the chatbot. So let me show it to you. Yeah, so first we have like 4 exit paths, as you can see. One for prescription refill, one for appointment booking, emergency exit, and doctor message. So for example, if it's for appointment, like the first thing it's going to do is like determine what the service type will be. So it will ask like, hey, how can I help you? And then I'm going to say, for example, I want to book an appointment. And then for appointments, step 2, it's only need to ask me like what the type of appointment it is, like a checkup, follow-up, or something else, and my preferred day and time. Once it has this information, once it knows I want to book an appointment, then it's going to ask these questions. And once it has those 2 answers, we'll have to exit this exit path. And we are going to save those 2 answers in a variable. Like I said in the beginning, a variable, like you can save like whatever the user had said in a variable, and you can later on reuse this variable, for example, in your booking system or maybe in something else. So we are going to save the variable, And you can see here, we have like the exit condition first. We named it appointment booking, and then we are going to tell like when to exit this agent step. And then for the variable, if I click on it, you can select your variable and then what kind of appointment they need. Same thing with the preferred timing. So what day and what time do they want? And then once we have this information, we will exit it. Like same thing with for prescription refills. We will ask like the full name, the patient, like the medication name, date of birth, doctor message. We will ask like their name, date of birth, and like what message they want to send to the doctor. And of course, you can like customize it more. You can give it a more comprehensive instruction. You can give it more exit conditions, or even better. This is like a demo, but you get the image. Like you can build it however you want. And then we have like these 4 exit pods. So let me show you first the first exit pod and the last exit pod, because they are similar. So we will have an API post call. So with APIs, you can send data to a different software. In this case, we are going to send the data to Mcom. And Mcom is like an automation platform. You can automate like workflows on there. And you can do this, for example, if you have like a specific booking system, they probably have also API documentations, and you can like send data from the chatbot to that software. So for example, if they want to book an appointment, or you want to like update your CRM or something else. In this case, we are going to send data, so you will need a endpoint URL. All right, so let's go to Mcom, and in Mcom you have here the webhook module where you can send data to, and then the data over here you can reuse it, and you can do whatever you want inside Mcom. And let me show you quickly what Mcom does and what apps they have. Like they have a lot of apps. They have the OpenAI module where you can like do like very smart automations. Google Calendar, which we are going to use later, Airtable, Twilio, Gmail. You can send emails. You can do much more. You have Monday.com, WordPress. For example, if I click on WordPress, you can like create a post, update a post, create a comment. You can do a lot of stuff. Like each module itself has like a lot of actions in there. So you can see, so if you have never used Mcom, there's a link in the description as well. And yeah, so the first thing you need to do is like sending data to Mcom. So I will show you quickly how you can do this. You have to run this module, for example, or you have to create a module first. The module will be the webhook module. So let me show you quickly. The webhook module, and then custom webhook. You need to create a custom webhook. You can give it a name, and then it will generate a webhook URL. And this webhook URL, you have to save it. So click on save, and then make sure like your automation is already on saved, and once data is arrived, you have to put it on. And then inside the API call, you have to paste your webhook URL over here. The method is post. This is for sending information, data, and then your body. So like I said, like the body is over here. You can give it a key, which is the name. It's not super important, but this is more for your own reference. And the value, this is very important because this will be used inside your apps in Mcom. Medication, so instead of using a fixed value, I created here a variable. So each time there's a new user, this is also different. Patient name and date of birth, same thing. And then we will send data. So let's send this data. So let's try it again because it stopped running. And voila, we just received the data in Mcom. So let me try it again, but something else like Abdullah, YouTube, vid. So let's try it again, run this module only, and then send the data. And voila, you can see the data which we have created inside Voiceflow, it's now being sent to Mcom. And inside Mcom, we are sending these information to Google Sheet. So in Google Sheet, we have these tables, and then like under the column medication name, we have the variable from there. Patient name, same thing. Date of birth, also same thing. And then we have this fixed value, which is pot 1. So we have a filter. If it's pot 1, it will go to this module. If it's pot 2, it will go to this module. I've done this because I don't need to create like 2 separate scenarios. So this is pot 1 and this is the pot 2. This is the same, but for doctor message. So we will send the message content to Voiceflow, Mcom. So I can do that also like that. Run it, and now send it, and voila. And we have like the same webhook URL, so it will go to the same scenario. So that's why. And then over here it will determine like if it's pot 1 or pot 2. So if I click on the dots over here, you can create your filter, and I call this filter like pot 1. So if this data is the same as this one, then it will go to this pot or to this pot. It's very simple. So this is the prescription refill exit pot and the doctor message. So it's quite straightforward. And then we have the emergency exit. So let's do that first. So if there's an emergency, you don't want it to talk to a chatbot. You want to go as soon as possible to a real person, right? So that's what we are doing here. So basically, they are saying like, hey, this is an emergency. I need help as soon as possible. Then, without any question, it's going to exit this agent step and is going to forward the call. So you can see here, for example, with appointments, we need to first ask these questions. Prescription refill, same thing. But for emergencies, we will say like no information is needed, route immediately. So no questions, just go immediately over there and then forward the call. So I have a quick message block like I've showed you over here, where we tell like the user like, I'm transferring you to our emergency line right away, please stay on the line. So they have probably said here, I need emergency as soon as possible. It came to the agent step, no questions, it went to this spot. And then with the custom action, we are forwarding the call. So it's very simple how to create a custom action like this. And then like your phone number must be over here. And then like the phone number you have filled in over here will be called. Very straightforward, and like the scenario with the voice agent will be then like ended up, and then you have to wait for the actual team who is going to call you. And then we have the appointment booking, which I've saved as last. The appointment booking, so I've just showed you the appointment booking. We have 2 variables, the appointment type and the preferred timing. And the preferred timing is just in human language. And I recently created this function step which will translate natural language to ISO time formatting. So, so for example here, like we have the input, this is from the agent step what we have gathered over there, and then I have to give it my time zone. So you have to check which time zone you live. And then in my case, it was +2 hours. Maybe you live in -5 hours. You have to check it where you live, and you have to give here a fixed value. And then here, the user input must be the preferred timing. So the user has to say like a specific day, for example, next week Wednesday at 3 in the afternoon. And this function is going to translate that to ISO formatting. So it's a very smart function. And then if, for example, we are missing some data, so if they are only saying like can we do it later, or let's do it in the morning, but no specific time yet. And then one of these error parts will be triggered. So for example, user specified a date time that has already passed, then it will go to this path. Input cannot be parsed, or date is understood but no time is given. So they are saying like Friday but no time. Then we are going to this message block. We have here a listen step, and in this case we are going to save whatever they have said in this variable. So we are giving them here a feedback. I have the day, but what time would you prefer for your appointment? And then whatever they have said will be saved over here, and then you can see in a loop we are going back to this function until we have in human language a date and a time. And once we have that, we will continue. Once we don't have that, we will go to one of these error blocks. Yeah, once we have it, we will go to a post API call. And in this post API call, we are doing basically the same, but in a different scenario. So let me go to that scenario. So newest, so this one. And let me show it in this way to you, so it makes sense. We are getting the booking time, and then we have an end booking time. And we are determining the end booking time with this JavaScript. So once we have the information, we have here a set variable, and we are setting this variable this way. We have the booking time, which we have created over here. So once we have the preferred timing, this time zone, it gets like the natural language, and then it translates it to ISO formatting, and it will save that format in this variable. And then over here, the step after that will be a set variable. So what we are saying is like, this is a variable, you have to give it like plus extra time, and then basically it will give like 30 minutes extra. So for example, the ISO formatting says like 3 in the afternoon. The end booking time will, using this JavaScript, it will be then 3:30 in the afternoon. So now we have like an end time and like a start time and end time. And we are sending this data to Mcom. Again, we are using a webhook. And then the booking time, start time, and then the end booking will be that. And then we are sending first the data to Mcom. So you can see here we have it in ISO formatting, and then to Mcom. And the Mcom, you have the Google Calendar module, and then the action is the get free / busy information. What you are supposed to do is you have to give it like the end time. You have to connect first your calendar with this Google Calendar module. And then you have to say like your start time, which is the minimum time, and your maximum time. And then it's going to check if in your calendar, like you have a free slot. If it's not free, it will say busy. If it's free, it will say, it will then continue, and it's going to book it eventually. So you can see here, this specific time I'm not busy, so it said nothing here. But if I was busy, you would see here like a timestamp, 2 timestamps. And then we have here a filter again, and for example, with this filter, if we are busy, like the time we are busy, it contains 2025. You can create it however you want this filter. I created it in this way, just for the sake of this video, to keep it simple. But you get the image. You can create like a filter. If they are busy, it will give a date, and then it also always contains like 2025. And if it doesn't contain 2025, then it will go to that path. Simple. Which means like most of the times, if this is empty, then it will go to that path. Very straightforward. And then we have a webhook response. So we are going to send data back to Voiceflow, so capture response. So we'll say like the number 1 is once they are free at the time, and number 2 is when we are busy at the time. Very straightforward. and that information we are going to send back to Voiceflow. And you can see here we are sending data to Mcom, and here we are going to capture the response. Make sure your object name and your key name inside the webhook response is exactly one-on-one the same. If there is an issue over here, it's very case sensitive, it won't work. Also, you cannot include here a comma, or else it won't also work. So this is very case sensitive. So over here we have a conditional block where we say like, hey, quickly over here. So we have the busy time, the object, and then we are going to save it in the variable available. And then over here, if the variable available is 1, we will continue, which means 1 means they are free. So you will get a success message block, and else, which is 2 or something else, we will have like, I'm sorry, there's no time slot available. What you can do potentially is like go back and try it again, or in this case, I kept it simple and said like someone from our team will contact you. Very straightforward. In that case, you have to create, for example, in a Google Sheet or CRM, or in Pipedrive, you can create a task, for example, where you have to contact this lead. But yeah, this is like a very simple way how I have done it. And of course, you can customize this a bit more. Yeah, I hope this explanation was helpful. If you want something customized for yourself, for your own, for example, medical center or your organization, company, I can build it for you. It can be a voice agent, automation, or a chatbot. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, you can drop them down below in the comments. And if you're new with Voiceflow, use my link. You will get 1,000 credits for free instead of with a free plan 100 credits. So again, thank you for watching, and see you the next time. Bye.